This is Greg Strange at the Autocar Awards 2007, and with me is Bob Lutz, who's here to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Bob, your career in this motor industry has been quite glittering by anybody's standards. You've been the chairman of Ford of Europe, you've been the president of Chrysler, you're currently vice chairman for global product development for General Motors. Did you ever realise that it was going to be such a glittering career?
Well, I was, I was hoping it'd be okay. And my ambition was to be a vice president of some automobile company at some point, and later my ambition became to be CEO of an automobile company. Sadly, I never quite achieved that because I think I was a little bit too outspoken and too controversial in many of my views. But I have no regrets, and here I am, almost 76 years old, and still having a great time in the business.
You obviously still love your cars. You've always loved things mechanical. I mean, you were a marine pilot before you ever went into the motor business. Do you love planes more or cars more?
Well, I'm not in the airplane business, but I do have a passion for airplanes. I think there's three businesses that I could have been equally passionate about, and that's automobiles, motorcycles, and airplanes. And the reason is they're both airplanes mainly fighter type aircraft, and it's because they're both extremely technologically sophisticated and advanced human artifacts, and they extend the capability of the human body into realms that no human ever dreamed possible to travel at those speeds. And that goes for motorcycles, airplanes, and cars. But of the three, I suppose cars are the most fascinating because they sell in the highest volumes, and also because there is such a heavy emotional and psychological component in automobile purchasing. So it's more than just about the technological object. It's also about the emotions that it triggers in people, the beliefs about the brand, and so forth. I think I find that absolutely fascinating.
Well, here you are working in your 8th decade on the cars that we will be driving in the decades to come. And these next generation of motor cars, and we're standing just in front of the GM Flexstream, they're very, very important. You're passionate about them. Why?
Well, because it's game-changing technology. What we have is governments around the world being concerned about CO2 and, in the case of the United States, dependence on Mideast oil. They're all legitimate concerns. And governments are mandating ever stricter fuel economy standards. In the U.S., for instance, California is talking about levels of fuel efficiency which are no longer attainable with conventional technology. Or if we used conventional automotive technology, it would be $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 per car to try to achieve those levels. Clearly not a solution for the future. So when the incremental improvement approach no longer works, you have to ask yourself, is there a fundamental technological shift that we can look to that will solve the problem at a lower cost? And we think that shift is going to all-electric drive using lithium-ion batteries, which is looking extremely promising, and develop a vehicle with about a 40 to 50 mile range purely electrically. And then coupled to that will be a small petrol or diesel engine that can kick in automatically when the battery has dropped to a certain charge state, and then replenish the battery as you're driving.
So that gives you all the range. You don't have to look for somewhere to plug in and wait 3 hours while it recharges.
That's what's different about the Flexstream and the Chevrolet Volt, is that they take away the big fear of electric cars, which is basically a limited range, and what do I do if I run out of battery power 10 miles from the nearest electrical outlet? With this combination, the Flexstream or the Chevrolet Volt will have a range of, using the battery plus the internal combustion engine, a range of about 700 miles.
So that's all you need, isn't it?
Well, it's more than most people need. I mean, that should drive you for a whole week. 82% of trips in the United States are 40 miles a day or less. With the Chevrolet Volt being between 40 and 50 miles purely electrically, it means that that 82% of daily trips could basically be accomplished without ever burning a drop of petrol or diesel.
How far are cars like this away from being a practical reality? When can I buy one?
Well, the Flexstream, I'd say, is a little farther because this would be the next generation of body style that we do. But the chassis is identical. For the Chevy Volt, we're targeting November of 2010. We have the first battery packs. We're in the process of building the first prototypes, and we hope to be able to, in fact, we're confident that we'll be able to demonstrate the first trials showing 40 to 50 mile electric capability in the first quarter of 2008.
You've described yourself as a person who always told it how it is and sometimes rubbed a few people up the wrong way. Maximum Bob was the nickname they gave you. You're still going to be around in another 10 years. Here you are picking up this Lifetime Achievement Award. Are they trying to tell you to retire, or do you have every intention of carrying on?
Well, I've had several of these awards. I had one from the Golden Steering Wheel folks in Germany. That was a Lifetime Achievement Award. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. So I've had them at various stages of my career, and as long as nobody inside the company taps me on the shoulder and says, "Bob, I really think it's time for you to leave," I'll just continue working.